Hello and welcome back. I thought we'd have the yellow switcher out, or one of my yellow switchers out. So we'll have the one with the hazard stripes out on another day, I think. So we'll just follow this around and we'll bring it back around to the crossover we've just come through. So we are the following day from the footage you just saw the video open with. But we'll just follow that around there, nice gentle wind. So we've got two shades of green and a sort of reddy orange hopper wagon there, and the gentle stop there, and the ever-present caboose there. So we're having plenty of those on, or I keep reusing them. They're not all the same model. So let's just put that there, and we'll change a point before we forget, otherwise we'll come crashing back into this one. We want to go straight here. All set up as one railway at the moment. Let me just grab my book and we'll have some numbers. So we've got the caboose R.155, sort of 54 to 65-ish, then late 60s, got other variants of for different markets. And then we've got the hopper wagon. So we are R111, 55 to 66. Again, I think in the late 60s, early 70s, there may have been Canadian variants of this. And I'm unsure as to whether there are Australian versions of this. These ones have the Mark II couplings. I don't have the drinking straws in at the moment, because when I've been playing with these, they've been behaving quite well. Yeah, that green one there, there's a spar missing from that one, and it's had a little bit of a glue repair, which is quite visible. So we've got three of those hopper cars or hopper wagons there, and then we've got the this yellow version of the TC switcher. We saw a maroon version a couple of weeks ago. So we're R155 BoBo switcher, 57 to 64, and again there were other variants of this in the late 60s, early 70s. Let's just have a quick glance at the maroon one. Let's come back over here. We'll see if we can get them side by side at some point. So there we go. We've got the maroon one sitting there on the railway. Very similar thing. It's an amazing colour, that maroon. Mind you, the yellow is quite striking, isn't it? When we look at the yellow here, and it's a very entertaining colour. So let me just give that a little bit more power, and we'll give that another once around. Actually, we'll have a look at the box that it came out of. Let's have a look here. So it's a fairly sort of worn box. You can see where the tape's been there. Lift off lid box. Sort of, it's done its job. Possibly got a price scribbled on there. Is that 57 and 6? If I read that correctly, it's quite small from this distance. But if you have a look at the insert picture there, you can see how the model looks sitting within the box. No paperwork. It's got part of the cardboard packaging still present, but yeah, again, always nice to have these boxes. We'll just have a swift look over the model. Have a look down the side there. The handrails are not too bent. I've got no glazing in the cab. I don't think there was glazing in the cab windows on these. I think later models, the later yellow one probably had a rivet there. You can see the light just through the aperture there. So I'm not going to take the top off this because it's quite. I've put in. You have a look at the insert picture. I just put in a little bit of silver foil there to prevent the heat from the bulbs getting too close to the plastic there. So I don't really want to dismantle it again, because I got it all running nicely and the bulbs visible from both ends. So I'll just have a look down the other side. And I look down there, we can see the bulb. I've got that nicely positioned there. And if you look at the bogie, I think I mentioned that I did give the wheels a change, because the axles were very rusty, and I think the wheels had actually shrunk. So I think these are a much nicer bet than the ones that were in it. I'll show you those in a moment. And there's a little bit of distortion in this bogie. It looks to have slightly pinched in, and it may have had paint on it. It looks like there's been some silver paint on there, or some sort of residue in the past. Anyway, I'm quite pleased with that now. I've got really nice smooth running wheels in there. Again, there's the motor bogie on that end, and that's the new set of wheels I've put in there. Well, new old set. I can't remember what these came out of now, but they were sitting in a box, so I thought I'd use those on there. And then we've got the information on the box here: Triang Railways, or Triang, and then made in England, just sitting down there. So are we going to keep that one in focus? We'll get that way around. If I get too close to this camera, it doesn't hold the focus. That's about as close as we can get there. See the underside, that little metal strip there is where these roll through the bodywork and around. So it's all quite neat. Single horn. And these sort of pilots are a little bit they're shrunken. If you look down the sides of it there, see how it's pulled in. So I think the plastics used to make these have definitely shrunk over the years. I have an idea. I've repaired that with a bit of blue tack, or is it on the other side? I think yeah, it's on this end. I think there is a pin missing off the bogey there, and I've got it held in with a bit of blue tack to stop it wobbling around. Or the securing pin for the pilot is present on that side. Let's see if we can get it there. You can see it just there, but on that side it's missing. So I've got blue tack. I don't know why I didn't use black tack. Maybe I didn't have it at the time. Let me just pop that down, and then we'll just have a look at these drive wheels there. So again, if you have a look at the flange on there, I don't know whether that's wear and tear or whether somebody's actually turned that one down, but I don't understand why you would want to turn them down just on one side, because they don't appear to have been turned down on this side. But yeah, so in fact this one is much more worn away than the other. Maybe it's not an original set, maybe it's not matching, but if you also have a look at the insulating bush there, it's all crazed. They're both crazed just as much as each other. So I think these may have been living together for quite some time. So it'd be quite interesting to see that. Let's have a look at the original plastic wheels out of the dummy bogey. And if you look at how poor condition these were in, they were a real pig to get out these. And I think there's lots of rust inside there. It's sort of eaten into the plastic, and when you look at these, they don't look especially in good condition. So I've left those. I'll leave those with the model along with its original drive wheels in case we ever want to put it back. But I think these axles, even with cleaning and using some emery on there or wet and dry, I think even that they're going to be in too poor a condition to reuse. We'll look at the brightly coloured one first. So it really is quite vibrant, isn't it? And we've got the unloading mechanism in the base. So you could have used these with the unloading apparatus. If you have a look at the insert picture there, these were quite fun items. They must have been great to receive a box like this on your birthday or Christmas. So we have a look at the wheels there. I've had all those out, given a bit of a clean up. They're all quite nice. It's all intact in there. There was another variation that with a TR shield. I'll pull one out later, but it's got the Mark III couplings on. I decided just to use the ones I have with the Mark IIs. Now let's have a look at the lighter olivey green one. Now I thought I had the box for that. I think, is this the box here? Have I found the box? Yeah, there we go. It was a bit further away than I was anticipating. So there we go. R.155 hopper wagon. You see there's something TC series there, but something has affected that paper label. So just the one I have with the box, sadly, but all the others are unboxed, sort of square section. Is that square? That's nearly square, isn't it? But lovely thick thick cardboard Triangle Railways box from the either late 50s or sort of mid-late 50s. Let's have another look at that. So I think that's a gorgeous green in there. I think that's really, really nice. And again, metal bogies. We've got the Mark II couplings, but these are unloading mechanisms. Can become quite rusty, so sort of try and keep on top of them and don't let them go too far. And then let's just have a look at the other green one, a much darker shade of green. And so this one's been in the wars. Somebody has glued it back together before it came to me. So you've got a spar missing there. You can see evidence of glue in here as well. But I thought these were quite fun items. I do quite like the green. I mean, it's not as vibrant as the rest of the range, but it's quite interesting. If you have a look at how this looked in the 55 catalogue, have a look there. So again, it's a very fragile catalogue, that's why I'm just going to show an image of it. The wagon's sort of in grey or silver, isn't it? Much more basic, but all it's got, even though it's an illustration, it's got the sort of feel of the wagon. And you'll have noticed the caboose on that catalogue page there as well. So this one's been on the railway a while. We've had a good look over it before, but I think just in case you haven't seen the earlier videos, we'll just have a quick look over it. I think these are like the R16 brake van. There are quite a lot of these around, although I think this is the slightly earlier bogie type. They changed the bogie used on these at a later date. I don't know whether I have got one just out of shop. Had to cut away and couldn't quite get that with one hand. But there's a slightly later one with the Mark III coupling, and we've got a different bogie in use there. So that's the earlier one, and that's the later one. And there are various different sizes of steps. I mean, in the early 70s, these steps are barely one step down, and there's a much earlier one than this with much thicker and slightly wider steps, which does collide with the point motors. All back together. We'll just get that underway, and we'll see if we can let that warm up again. And while I was just preparing that last lot of video, I thought I'd get the other hopper wagons out that I've got. So let's just roll this around. Run that through the station. Now that's why I've got them that way around. If I have the operating mechanism near the station, it collides with that 00 station. So there's my other hopper wagons sitting at the bottom of the shop there. Let's turn that off for a moment. It's all looking very colourful this side of the railway. We'll pop the control. Sorry, I'm not looking in the right place there. So these have got the Mark III couplings on, and that's the other caboose we just had a look at there. So again, very vibrant. I think that's very similar to the red, perhaps that's over there, or possibly a slightly different shade. And then we've got this amazing orange, and then this one we've got the TR badge on the side of it. So all Mark III couplings. I thought we'd get the old R59 out there just to give us some really going the wrong way with the camera, some deafening sound. We've got two sets of knurled wheels running around the railway. So let's get that underway. Let's step back here and grab the other controls. I should have had those with me. Let's see if we can get that underway. See if we can get that to even out. Looks fairly good at the moment. I'm going to pop the controls down. I suspect this is going to pick up some pace as the motor warms a little. We'll keep an eye on it, and then we'll get the other one going. Yeah, that's more the sound we're after, isn't it? Imagine these running in the toy shop back in the day. But they would have driven the staff mad with the constant whine of these wheels in the background here, with the R59 coming in from the left of shot. Express hopper wagons. I'm just going to take a little bit of power out of this, I think. I do believe I've taken the power out of the wrong one. There we go. Although I think I've adjusted the other one quite nicely at the moment. Definitely moving a touch slower though. But I think they were just great fun items. I know some people aren't very keen on these transcontinental things, but I mean, they've just got to make you smile, really. And let's see if we can get that switcher in the background there. Let's see if we can just pass it one more time, and then we'll do something sensible with them. Right. And we'll get the yellow switch around here so we can see it with the maroon one, perhaps. Another very colourful shot. Looks good for the canopy. So let's just grab the controls here. And I think we'll stop that there. And then we've got the other train storming around over my left shoulder here. So I think what we'll do, we'll just swap that around. We'll swap this around, so we'll take that onto the other line, and then we'll bring that one through onto this line. We'll see how that works out. So I'm just going to split the railway. So let's turn that one off and that one up there. So I think that leaves us on the other controller. So I just need to switch some points. So we'll make that one curved, and then we need the crossover there, and we just need to seal the yellow switcher into that station. So I'm going to change that one, and this point here, if I can see over. There we go. So it'll be amazing if I've got this right. So ideally switcher stays still, and R59 with the Mark III couplings moves. Let's see. Yeah. It could have gone the other way. So we'll bring that around there, over the diamond, through the crossover, onto the near side of the station. That's all good. So I'm just going to close up this lot behind me. So I don't think I'm going to risk backing through that lot. We'll just come through the other way. Excuse me, swinging around there. That one, and then that one. Ooh, two more. Yeah, so what we really need is telepathic points. That one, and it's going to be this one, isn't it? Never mind Bluetooth. Here we go. Again, that's very colourful with those red buildings as well, isn't it? So I've got the wrong controller, I think. Hang on a second. I could. Is this one going to do the business? I've done something not quite right here, because I've got nothing running unless it's just sitting in a dead spot, of course. So I thought that would go. It is, look, the lights are coming on, so we're either on dirty track or just at that point where something's not just sitting right with the pickups. Again, 60-year-old toys. You can't always have it working perfectly every time. Just near sometimes is enough to make you smile. So let's get that there. I'm going to fiddle with some point work over here for a second. Where are we? So I want that one. So I want to be straight with that one. And straight with that. And we're all one. So let's just push those around. And we'll just bring that up close to the other switcher. And I think that's probably about it for today, but thank you again for looking in. Hugely appreciated. Hope you've enjoyed seeing these items underway, as it were. So if you look back again next time, we'll try and have something else interesting from the range to have a look at. Goodbye now.